Hey and welcome to this brand new training of Symfony. So in this tutorial we will learn all about Symfony and we will create a website at the end. So first of all we need XAMPP. So for the people who don't have XAMPP, it's time to install it. You can download it if you have Windows, Linux or even Mac OS system. After that we need Composer. So for install it, just click here on download button. After that, if you have a Windows, you just click in this composer setup.exe and it will be next and then finish to install. If you don't have Windows, you need to follow all this just this instrument in here. After that we need, for me I will work with the HiGSQL. So for you, if you don't know, HiGSQL is just like a localhost, PHP MyAdmin localhost, but you install it as a plugin in your machine so that you can work in it without need of a navigator. So I will work with HiGSQL. If you want to download it, it's okay, download it. If you don't want to download it, you will just work with PHP MyAdmin. It's all the same. And for the style of the or CSS framework, we will use Bootstrap for the backend, and we will also a different CSS framework is UIKit. So we will use Bootstrap for the backend and UIKit for front end. So after clicking in this button, it will be downloaded here. You click on it and this this window must show up. So click on developer mode, next, and here make sure that you go to your XAMPP. So let me just XAMPP, and in XAMPP search for PHP here, and after that go to the PHP, which is PHP here, click OK, and here let's add it manually, dot PHP dot exe, this one. So click next, and after that it will install. Just leave this empty, hit next again, next, because I installed it 2 times, that's why he give me too much of this part, but he will remove this one and add new one. So hit click install and it will install successfully. After that, let's open our XAMPP. So you just search for XAMPP in your Windows or in basically in the path you install it, and you will find it in C. So you open it, you start Apache and MySQL, you will find here start, you will click on them, and then we will create our first project with Symfony. So for me, I will use Git bash to do that. So you can use anything you want, but just Git bash, because you can write Linux command inside the Windows. So let me go to the C, hit enter, no such directory, now C double quote, now it will open. After that, let's go to XAMPP. So cg XAMPP. After that, our htdoc, cg htdocs. But now let's create our first project in Symfony. So to do that, let's hit composer, create dash project, and then Symfony slash framework dash standard search dash edition, and after that the name of the project. And for me, let's name it, for example, rental car, because I want to create a website of the rental car. So rental dash cars, let's hit enter. Composer command is not one. It's maybe the composer isn't installable, so let me check it and they will back to you soon. So here, as you see, I write commands again and now it's working. The problem was in as I said, in the composer, so I delete the composer and I install it again from it's like the first time, and this time I didn't hit, or I didn't check the mode developer. I just leave it empty and I go next. So if you have the same problem as me, go back and install the composer again, but now leave the developer mode unchecked, and it will be download and install it just like me. And when it install or it creates project, it will tell you to configure some things, like for example the database. And for us, we will just work local, so we will leave the same local database. Hit enter. It will tell us the database port. We will enter the port is 3306 or 06. How I know that? It's from the exam. Here the exam MySQL, it tell me this is the port of your database, so I basically just copy that and paste it in here, or just write it. So after that I hit enter. After that he will tell us to give a name, database name, and by default he named it Symfony. If we want to keep it that way, we hit enter. If we want to change the name, we click, or just we put the name. For me, it says, for example, car .gb. So we hit enter. For the user root, I will keep it that way. If you have, for example, a different user in the database, just specific or write one, or just leave it for root. We'll hit enter. For the password, for me, the exam by default he don't give passwords in his root, so I will leave it empty also. Enter. For SMTP, we don't need it for the moment, so I will leave it empty also. Mail host, also not for the moment. Enter. And now he will keep installing the rest of his composer or the rest of his model, and after that he will show us a green screen. That means that everything is working, or that the project has been created successfully. So this is the screen I was talking about. See here in green, that means everything is created successfully and the project is created successfully. So I think this is all for this video, and see you in the next video when we will explain the MVC mode, or the model view controller pattern. So see you soon.